So before we get started, check out the following links in the description box below as highlighted in the image shown. So you'll be able to get our past papers, our link to our official website, link to accreditations, our link to donation page, and contact details in the description. So once you'll be watching a certain video of any lesson or of any past paper, you'll be able to get all these links, and you can be able to get to download past papers, to reach to our official website. You'll be able to see links to our accreditations so that you can see which authorities have accredited us. You'll be able to reach to our donation page as well as our contact details.
Hello learners, and welcome back. We are still on the past paper, ATD Level 3, August 2024, Principles of Economics. In our previous video, we did question 1 to 10. Now we are going to do question 11 to 20 as our second video. So let's start with question 11, and it reads, which one of the following statements is not a characteristic of mixed economic system? Which one of the following statements is not a characteristic of mixed economic system? Choice A is government provides the essential goods and services. Choice B, there is ownership of both private and public properties. Choice C, there are a large number of buyers and sellers. Choice D, both private and public sectors create employment. So government provides the essential goods and services. Choice A, this is planned economy. This is a planned economy. And under planned economy, the government has significant control over the production and distribution of goods and services. Choice B, so this can be planned or also mixed, because it hasn't said the government only produces. It has just said government provides the essential goods and services. Choice B, there is ownership of both private and public properties, both public and private. This is mixed economic system. As we say, in a mixed economy, both private and the government own and control resources and industries. The private sector typically owns businesses and property, while the government may own or regulate essential industries and provide public goods and services. Choice C, there are many number of buyers and sellers. This is a characteristic of market structures or market economy. Market structures. Specifically, it is a characteristic of perfect competition. Perfect competition market structure. Perfect competition market structure. And under this, the allocation of resources is determined by the forces of supply and demand. A large number of buyers and sellers ensures competition, which drives innovation, efficiency, and helps determine prices based on consumer preferences. Choice D, both the private and public sectors create employment. Again, both private and public sector create employment. This is a characteristic of mixed economic system. So our best choice here, that is not a characteristics of mixed economic structure, is choice C, which is market structures type. Question 12, it reads, which one of the following is a fiscal policy? Which one of the following is a fiscal policy? Which one of the following is a fiscal policy to control inflation? Choice A is bank rate. Choice B is moral suasion. Choice C is reserve margins. And choice D is borrowing. Which one of the following is a fiscal policy to control inflation? Choice A, bank rate, is a monetary policy tool. This is monetary policy. And under the bank rate, say when inflation is high, central banks may increase the bank rate, also known as the discount rate, which raises the cost of borrowing for commercial banks. When inflation is high, central banks may increase the bank rate, also known as the discount rate, which raises the cost of borrowing for commercial banks. This in turn leads to higher interest rates for consumers and businesses, discouraging borrowing and spending. Choice B, moral suasion, is also a monetary policy of the government, and it refers to the efforts of the central bank to influence and persuade commercial banks, financial institutions, and businesses to adopt certain behaviors without using legal or direct regulatory measures. So this is also a monetary policy. Reserves margins is also a monetary tool which refers the requirement set by the central bank for commercial banks to hold a certain percentage for their deposits in reserve rather than lending them out. By increasing the reserve margin, the central bank limits the amount of money that banks can lend, thus reducing the money supply in the economy. So that's also a monetary policy tool. Monetary policy tool. Choice D, we have borrowing. And borrowing is a fiscal policy tool. When the government borrows from public, it effectively reduces the amount of money available for private spending. This can help curb inflation by decreasing overall demand in the economy, as fewer funds are available for businesses and individuals to spend. So our choice, or our best choice, or fiscal policy to control inflation is choice D. This is fiscal policy, that is the action of the government to curb inflation. Question 13, we say, which one of the following statements is not a characteristic of indifference curves? They are negatively sloping, is choice B, choice A. They are concave to the origin, is choice B. They are asymptotic, is choice C. An indifference curve never intersects, choice A. They are negatively sloping, that is, as one good increases, the other decreases to maintain the same level of satisfaction. So indifference curves are always like this. So yes, they are negatively sloping. They are concave to the origin, that is, the indifference curves are convex to the origin, reflecting a principle of diminishing marginal returns. They are asymptotic, that is, they do not touch the axis like this. Indifference curves, they are asymptotic, they don't touch the axis. They start from that place. And indifference curves never intersect. So our choice is choice B, that is, they are concave to the origin. Indifference curves are always convex to the origin. Question 14, it reads, which one of the following factors influence supply over commodity? Which of the following factors influence supply over commodity? Choice A is technology. Choice B is advertising. Choice C is population, and choice D is credit. Choice A, technology directly influences supply of a commodity because improvements in technology can increase production efficiency, reduce cost, and allow producers to supply more of a commodity at any given price. Advertising influences consumer demand by increasing awareness or preference for a product. So this influences supply. Advertising influences consumer demand. So this is demand of the commodity. Population affects demand, as a larger population may lead to a higher demand for goods and services. So this also. Credit can affect supply of a commodity, but it mostly also affects demand for the product. So our choice, or our best choice, of a factor that influences the supply of a commodity is choice A, which is technology. That directly affects the supply of a commodity. Question 15, it reads, the branch of economics known as macroeconomics is based on the principle of choice A, producer, choice B is opportunity cost, choice C is consumer, and choice D is national income. Which one of the following factors, the branch of economics known as macroeconomics is based on the principle of, our answer there is national income. We say macroeconomics focuses on the economy as a whole, examining large-scale economic indicators such as national income. This is national income. National income, the GDP, inflation, employment, unemployment, and economic growth. So macroeconomics focuses on the economy as a whole and affects all these. So among these, the one that we have is choice D, which is national income. Question 16, it reads, which one of the following statements is not a limitation of consumer sovereignty? Which one of the following statements is not a limitation of consumer sovereignty? Choice A is the size of consumers' income. Choice B is the existence of oligopolies. Choice C is the nature of economic system. And choice D is the range of goods available. So consumer sovereignty refers to producers supplying goods to the economy, while they depend on the preferences or demand of the consumers for that commodity. So producers produce goods and services depending on the availability of the demand of that product by the consumers. So choice A, the size of the consumer's income, it limits consumer choices as not all consumers can afford all products. So this is a limitation of consumer income. Choice B, the existence of oligopolies restricts consumer sovereignty because a few firms dominate the market, potentially reducing choices and influences prices. So this is also not a limitation. Choice C, the nature of economic systems can limit consumer sovereignty, especially in command economies where the government determines production, reducing consumers' choice. This also can limit consumer sovereignty. Choice D, the range of goods available. A wide range of goods available actually enhances consumer sovereignty as it provides consumers with more choices, allowing them to better express their preferences. So, choice D is not a limitation of consumer behavior. So that will be our answer, choice D. We move to question number 17, but question number 7 in this video, and it reads, use the information given below to answer question 17 and question 18. The table below represents hypothetical figures for total utility derived from consumption of two goods, X and Y. The price of X is 10 shillings and that of Y is 6 shillings. We are given the units there, total units of X and total units of Y. Question 17 requires us to calculate the marginal utility for good X at 4 units. So the marginal utility of good X at 4 units is calculated as the difference in total utility from 0 units to 4 units. This is what we are required to calculate the marginal utility. We're going to call it MU. But since in the table we have not been provided with a 0, the total unit of goods 0, then we are going to use at units 8. So MU of X at 4 units, going to use good 8, which is going to be 240 minus 144. That is change in total utility with respect to change in units. We divide by 8 minus 4. It's Q. It's TU2 minus TU1 over Q. Let's call our units Q. And this is Q2 minus Q1. This is Q1, Q2, TU1, TU2. 144 minus 120, that will be, let's find our calculator here. Calculator. Let's wait for our calculator. It's 240 minus 144, which gives us 96. We divide that by 4. 8 minus 4 is 4, which gives us divide by 4. It's 24. So the marginal utility is 24. Our answer should be choice A. Choice B is 30. Choice C is 15. Choice C is 36. Our answer is choice A. Question 18. We are required to determine the marginal utility for Y at 16 units. So we're going to use the previous, that is 12. This is going to be our Q1, Q2, Q1, Q2. So it's going to be 320 minus 272 over 16 minus 12. It's going to be 320 minus 272, which is going to give us 48, and we divide this by 4. 16 minus 12 is 4. It's going to give us 12. So the marginal utility for good Y at 16 units is 12, which is choice B. Choice A is 14, choice C is 16, choice D is 20. So our answer is choice B, which is 12. We move to question 19, which reads, which one of the following statements describes the term economic planning? Which one of the following statements describes the term economic planning? Choice A, it is an increase in a country's national income, including institutional and structural changes. Choice B is increase in the gross national product represented by a rightward shift of aggregate demand. Choice C is a deliberate attempt by the state to make the best use of a country's resources. And choice D is an increase in the productive capacity of an economy. So economic planning refers to the process by which a government or central authority makes decisions regarding the allocation and utilization of resources in an economy. So choice A, increase in a country's national income, including institutional and structural changes, that defines economic development. Economic development. Economic development goes beyond just increasing national GDP to include improvements. Increase in the gross national product represented by a straightforward shift of aggregate demand. This describes economic growth. Choice B describes economic growth. And economic growth refers to the increase in a country's output of goods and services. And choice D, which is increase in the product. Choice C, a deliberate attempt by the state to make the best of a country's resources. This describes economic planning. And choice D, increase in the productive capacity of economy. This describes economic potential. And economic potential refers to an increase in the economy's ability to produce goods and services, which can occur through improvements in factors such as labor, productivity, technology, capital investment, infrastructure, and natural resources. So our best choice here for question 19 is choice C. A deliberate attempt by the state to make the best use of a country's resources defines or describes economic planning. We move to question number 20, which reads, which one of the following statements is an economic effect of increased money supply in an economy? Choice A, producers can produce more at the same price as before. Choice B, high demand of goods due to increased purchasing power. Choice C, interest rate increase due to excess liquidity. And choice D, demand exceeds supply, thus market forces exert pressure on prices to rise, causing inflation. So choice A, producers can produce more at the same time as before implies production at the same time without considering demand and factor costs. Choice B, high demand of goods due to an increase in purchasing power. This means that purchasing power allows consumers to demand more goods and services. So in the following statements, an economic effect of increased money supply. So if we have more money in supply, then we are likely going to increase our purchasing power. Producers can produce more. That is not. Choice C, interest rates increase due to excess liquidity, is also not correct, because increased money supply usually leads to lower interest rates and not higher interest rates or increased interest rates. Demand exceeds supply, thus market forces exert pressure on prices to rise, causing inflation. Yes, money supply causes inflation, but doesn't directly explain the economic effect of increased purchasing power due to higher money supply. So our best choice for question 20 is choice B. High demand of goods due to increased purchasing power is an economic effect of increased money supply in an economy. That is it for this video, question 11 to 20. Thank you, and see you in our next lesson.
So if you like this video, you can always enroll with us. You'll be able to access more of these revision sessions, and also you'll be able to find well done lectures or pre-recorded videos for all the KASNEB courses as well as CHRP. And in case of anything, you can always reach us out. We have our contact details on the screen. Feel free to call, feel free to WhatsApp anytime. So thank you, and let's meet in our next session.